New Zealand lifts their cash rate by 50 basis points. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because the Kiwis, while they are trying to get the vote here in Australia, they should just join the Federation. I mean, come on guys, you'll help us lift our economic complexity. But they're raising their rates and they're doing it much faster than we are here in Australia. If we jump over to trading economics, we can see they're at 2.5%, guys. And we'll max out this chart to have a look. I mean, there you go. They had the 80s. What? Were they over 60% in the 80s? No. Well, okay. Shit. I knew New Zealand, they were... Well, okay, I need to look into that. But anyway, in recent times, they haven't had the excitement of back then. I mean, there you go. I mean, look at that, over 20%. Oh, damn, come on. Kiwis, what are you doing? You can see they've had an exciting period of high rates. And then, in the last 10 years, we can see it's been going down since about, 2015? Going down. And now, steadily going right back up. They're at 2.5% again. And they're going to keep going. Let's have a look at this article from Reuters. The RBNZ lifts interest rates 50 basis points, sticks to plans for more rate rises. Now, we've had a look at the property prices in New Zealand. They're going crazy over there too. And you don't get much for your Aussie dollar here anymore. I think there used to be a 20 cents difference. Not anymore. So, New Zealand Central Bank delivered its sixth straight interest rate rise on Wednesday and signaled it remained comfortable with its planned aggressive tightening path to restrain runaway inflation. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand raised the official cash rate by 50 basis points to 2.5%, a level not seen since March 2016. Continued rapid tightening to maintain price stability and support maximum sustainable employment was appropriate, it said. Although nearly all economists polled by Reuters had expected the central bank's policy committee to lift the cash rate by 50 basis points, there was speculation it might soften its hawkish outlook, given alarming falls in business and consumer confidence and an accelerating slide in house prices. They won't do that. You've got to understand, they'll do something 6 months after people have suffered and gone through pain and lost their businesses and their jobs and can't afford their mortgages or their houses anymore. They'll do it, 6 months to a year after reality sets in. Really feels like they're reactionary, doesn't it? All of them. The committee agreed to maintain its approach of briskly lifting the official cash rate until it's confident that monetary conditions are sufficient to constrain inflation expectations and bring consumer price inflation to within the target range, the central bank said in a statement. However, it added that the committee acknowledged there was near-term upside risk to consumer price inflation and emerging medium-term downside risks to economic activity. Following the broadly neutral statement, the New Zealand dollar barely moved, but interest rates continued to nudge lower, with the 2-year swap rate down 5 basis points to 3.845. So, inflation. A front-runner among central banks in withdrawing pandemic-era stimulus, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand has moved hawkishly to curb inflation, which was 6.9% in the first quarter, the highest rate in 3 decades. The cash rate is up tenfold, with a record low rate of 0.25% in October. The RBNZ has forecast inflation peaking at 7% in the second quarter of 2022, well above its target of 1% and 3%, or 1 to 3%. Maybe, are they as competent? Well, let's have a look. We'll have a look here. So 1 to 3%. Oh, so yeah, they were there for a period. 1 to 3%. What a range. What a joke, really. 1 to 3%. So, yeah, kind of. But they weren't back there. At the GFC, you can see they just crashed it. So rates have pretty much been going down except for a few oddities since the GFC. Second quarter price data due next week will show whether the forecast has been exceeded. Surprisingly strong figures would affect the future track of interest rates, ANZ Bank said. But ANZ added that the RBNZ decision decisions were likely to get harder in the second half of the year, as evidence mounted that tightening financial conditions were indeed dampening demand and eventually inflation pressures. The debate around how much is too much will naturally get much louder, it said. Like most economists, ANZ expects the central bank to raise interest rates by a further 50 basis points in August. However, there's growing expectation that after that rise, they may slow down. Barclays said in a note that after a 50 basis point rise in August, the balance of risk would shift towards 25 basis point increments, reflecting increasingly evident signs of moderation in domestic growth. So there we go, everyone. Let's have a talk about this. So, considering New Zealand in many ways is similar to Australia, but they have a more advanced economy than us. Their exports are more complex than ours. Cheese is higher than coal, guys. I'm not even kidding, it is. How do you think this is going to impact on the day-to-day? I mean, of all the imported goods, it might have some impact on the purchasing or the value of the New Zealand dollar, but you can see it didn't shift. But everyone with a mortgage, particularly all the new people that rushed in and got mortgages in New Zealand with their insane property, it's going to, restrict their discretionary spending. You're going to start seeing that in the retail sector. You're going to start seeing that in, all purchases. And then that's going to affect the people who are dependent on those sectors. It's much the same as what's happening here in Australia. And I wonder, do they have a government that will pull at all the strings to keep everything going? I wonder. We'll have to see, guys. Well, my Kiwi friends and viewers of the channel, good luck. You're going to need it. I guess that's why a lot of Kiwis move to Australia. Yeah. Get away from New Zealand. Or maybe they come to Queensland because it's much warmer. A lot of people don't realise how far south New Zealand is. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comments below. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there's a few ways you can help out. You can financially support us via YouTube or Patreon, use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode. 50 basis points, 2.5%. Compare that to our cash rate. The Kiwis, they're kicking our ass. Maybe I should deposit some money over there, earn some interest.